started, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Leah Frieden, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Fayetteville Public Library, and welcome to those watching at home through live stream as well. Before you leave today, please take a moment to fill out the evaluations that we've left for you. Those help us to plan for future programs. And I am delighted to have Sari at the library today. Sari grew up in Japan and lived in Bali as an adult. She has performed and taught Balinese and Japanese sacred dances internationally since 2000. Please help me welcome her.
Thank you, Leah, for introducing me. And hello, everyone. How are you? Good. So I was born and raised in Japan, but now I live in Texas. Okay. So I believe many of you have been to Austin, and many of you know Austin as a hip, cool place to be. My place is about 45 minutes southwest of Austin. I tell you, we don't have a supermarket, no gas station, no bank. We got the post office staffed by only one person. So when he needs to take a lunch, the post office gets closed down. so sweet. We have a lot of deer, fox, snakes sometimes, birds, lots of birds. So my husband and I own a private retreat facility over there, and people come to our place and run meditation, teach mindfulness. But I also go to public places like this. And as Leah told you guys, I also perform and teach about the Japanese culture along with meditation and other mindfulness practice. Okay? And who has ever been to Japan? Okay, lucky, twice, 3 times. My goodness, you are jealous, right? Yeah, okay. Beautiful place. Good time to go now because yen is weak. So dollar stretches. You're gonna have a fabulous trip, okay? So tell me what you know about Japan. I know you know a lot about Japan, but other people, what do you know about Japan? Okay, let me ask you a question. Who has ever tried sushi? Almost all hands go up. Beautiful, okay? Has anybody heard of Mount Fuji? Mount Fuji? Yeah, Japan's tallest mountain. Okay, good, right? How about tea ceremony? Okay, many people, yes, okay. What about Shinto? I know you know everything about Japan, but many people say, what? Shinto, what? I say that's unfortunate. All of you, most of you have tried eating sushi. Many of you have heard of Mount Fuji, but very few of you have ever heard of Shinto. But Shinto is the soul of Japanese people, okay? And it has been existing much longer than sushi. We have sushi only for the several hundred years, but Shinto has a long history. And in one word, yes, Shinto is a religion, if you want to say that. But for us, Shinto is just who we are, how we are, way of life. And I tell you much more about that. So I'm so happy that you joined me tonight to learn a little bit about the Shinto. And I'm happy to see young children today. And those of you might think that, oh my God, this lady's talk is so boring. First 30 minutes or 20 minutes. But hang on there, it's gonna be very much fun. Okay, so everybody's gonna have a fun time. So, where is my magic? Okay, Japan. So you see the Japanese flag, right? And then a country of Japan. And so Japan is surrounded by ocean. And it's a small country. Do you know that Japan is smaller than California? It's tiny. And Japan is surrounded by the ocean, which means it has blessings and challenging. So ocean, the beautiful, the scenery, poetic. But tsunami, did you know that tsunami is originally Japanese word? Yeah, that's originally Japanese word because they got it. They had it so many times for long history. So it had a challenge. And Japan has beautiful 4 seasons. And many people said that, oh, we want to go to Japan. I tell you, any season is amazing. Because oftentimes I get this question, when is a good time, best time to go to Japan? And I have to say that each season, it's beautiful. It has its own beauty. Springtime, sakura, the cherry blossom, which is Japan's national flower. And it's amazing. Why? Because it's in bloom only for a couple of weeks. Yes. And bringing lunch, having a picnic under the cherry blossom tree, and chatting, and some people drinking sake, some people might be doing karaoke, and everybody's having a fun time. That's what every Japanese wants to do during those 2 weeks. So if you are in Japan in late March through early April, you turn on the TV, 7 o'clock in the evening, news time. First news piece is not about the politics, not about the economy. It's about cherry blossom. Which part of in Japan cherry blossom is open now, so that people can go have a picnic. So that tells how much they love cherry blossom. Fascinating. Summertime, a lot of trees. It's so lush. So much beauty there. People do the hiking and just being out, going to mountain, going to the ocean. So much fun being in the nature. Fall time, beautiful fall foliage, ginkgo trees and maples. So colors of red, yellows, any colors in between. Amazing. Winter time. This scenery is from the northern part of Japan. If you go to Tokyo, it will be a snow like up to twice a year, twice a winter, snow. Summertime, in the winter time in the southern part of Japan, it gets cold but not much snow. Northern part of Japan, it's all about the snow and the ice every day. So you see it's so diverse, the nature. So nature gives them blessings and challenge. Summertime, it could be typhoon, and wintertime, it could be avalanche or a snowstorm, and all kinds of challenge. So for a long time, Japanese people really felt the blessing and the challenge. And there was no science to explain what was going on. So what they thought about was there must be a power behind this phenomena in nature. There must be gods and goddesses doing all kinds of things, both giving us blessings and challenging. So that was the origin of Shinto. And Japan's oldest indigenous religion, it precedes Buddhism. So nobody knows exactly when Shinto started, but it's pretty much proven it happened in Yayoi period between 300 BCE and 300 CE, so about 600 years, right? So if you go to Japan and forget about in the middle of Tokyo, in between the building, but even in the Tokyo, if you go to certain area, you will notice it looks like an origami, right? It's actually Japan's oldest origami pattern. This means that, oh, this is a sacred area. And if you see, let's say, rock like that, and you see the same origami pattern, that means somebody felt divine, God or goddess, in that rock. And then so mark them. And then people started coming and said, oh, I feel it too. They started to give offering. They started to pray. So that was very simple. And eventually they started to build shrines, the Shinto shrines. So you see the shrine gate, and by the way, up this picture, this is a very famous couple rocks. So one big one is husband, and the smaller one is wife. And it could be the opposite, right? I know. But so it goes like that. And then again, the shimenawa, the sacred rope. And you see the gate up there. That means this is a sacred couple of rocks. And then here, the gate, this is a picture taken in Miyajima Island. And this shrine is very unique because it's in the water, it's in the ocean. So it has a nickname of floating shrine. And when the tide is low, people can walk around it. When tide is high, it's submerged, it's in the water. It's so mysterious. So that's why gate is in the water again. So again, anyway, so these things, you will see this mark, the sacred, the demarcation of the area. Could be in a mountain or could be in a very formal, the shrines. And even in the metropolitan Tokyo, you're gonna see the Shinto shrines. You cannot avoid it because they are just everywhere. It shows how special they are for Japanese people, okay? So if you go to Shinto shrines, the first thing every visitor has to do is to wash hands, okay? So always there is an area like that with water, with the little thing to scoop the water, water scooper. Wash hands and wash mouth too. So symbolically, the person is purifying speech. Only speak good. So it means that to connect with God or goddess, we have to be pure. So that's the idea. So you see the Japanese word senshin, that means purify the mind, but actually it's a heart, purify mind, heart, so everything to connect. By the way, Shinto is unique, right? I told you Shinto is more than religion for Japanese people. And another reason it's hard to say that Shinto is religion is there is no like a one central God in the Shinto. Let's say in a Christianity, like Jesus Christ, or Muslim, Allah, or Buddhism, Buddha, or it just doesn't go like that. In Shintoism, there are so many gods and goddesses with names and no names. And no script, no scripture, no set of doctrine, no dogma. So that's why it's very loose. So Shinto is an idea, attitude, but again, there is no real set of like rules of conduct. No, so it's very loose. So it kind of coexisted with many other religions. And it doesn't matter whatever religion, let's say, some Japanese people follow, but they happily go to Shinto shrine. I have a Christian friends in Japan, and then they used to go to Shinto shrines with me. It's okay. Nobody questioned that because It's so embedded in their psyche. It's just a culture. Okay? So I was telling you about sensing, right? Yeah, purify mind, which is very important. And the Japanese people, I can say with confidence that they are very clean people. Sometimes a little obsessive, their sense of cleanliness. And one of the example about that is, let's say, bidet toilet. You understand that, right? Is installed in more than 80% of Japanese households. So they want to just be clean everywhere, all kinds of parts. And can you imagine what happened after COVID started? They freaked out, okay? They really freaked out about all kind of germ thing. So still they wear masks and they're very careful, although officially the COVID era are already behind them, but they're very careful. But anyway, very clean people. The reason behind that is the Shintoism, because they might not really think about that, but within their psyche, deeply embedded the sense of cleanliness. They gotta be clean to be with the Shinto ideas, gods. So many different gods and goddesses, god of thunder, goddess of sun, god of moon, goddess or god of rice, all kinds of things. And Shinto shrines are everywhere, I told you. And I told you that first thing they have to do, visitors have to do is purify, right? And another thing about the Shinto shrine is festivals or events. And every Shinto shrine has a calendar that they follow, and then they do Shinto rituals to make sure that people are happy and gods are happy, goddesses are happy. That means nature is happy. So nature doesn't go run amok to give too much challenge to them. So a lot of festivals. And if you have a chance to go to Japan, again, I really encourage you to go to Shinto shrine in the area you are staying. Maybe Google it, check the Shinto calendar. Chance is that you can witness those events. They are open to everybody, Japanese, non-Japanese, it doesn't matter. And at the Shinto festival, first thing that is done is purification ceremony, of course. The space has to be purified so that people can be in touch with this divine spirit. And today, I want to share that dance, which is called Miko Mai, with you. So Miko means maiden, Mai means dance. So there are different types of purification dance done at the Shinto shrine. Miko Mai is typically or particularly performed by maidens, the young ladies. And you might say, sorry, you don't qualify. But I'm very young in my heart, as you are. So I hope nobody has anything, right, against me doing that. So it's very simple dance. By the way, Mikomai is performed at Shinto shrines by ladies who work at the Shinto shrines, but oftentimes just the ladies who live in the community. They just come to Shinto shrines and take some training. Okay? And I want to offer that Mikomai dance, purification dance, for this place, to purify this place, and then purify your mind and my mind. Sounds good? All right, thank you. So this is called the torimono, and it's used for a dance. And sometimes some miko dancers could have just a branch or some different, you might want to say prop, but sacred prop. So idea is that the divine spirit comes to here. And then with that spirit, the purify the space. Okay? Okay, good. Thank you. So, at the Shinto festival, first purification dance is done, and then next to come is kagura. Kagura means entertainment for God. Who has ever heard or watched the no dance? No dance? Yeah, Japanese no dance. So that's a high art, like a mask dance. And many people have heard about or watched it, but very few people outside of Japan have ever heard of kagura. But actually, kagura has a long history. So kagura is a mask dance theater. And it's all about entertaining divine spirit, gods and goddesses. And actually, kagura has a very interesting origin. And that story, the origin of kagura, is recorded in Japan's oldest chronicle of the Japanese history, which was published about 1,300 years ago. So it's a very, very old scripture. So this is how kagura started. So long time ago, so many gods and goddesses are in Japan, and still they are, but they are over there. And one day, sun goddess, she got so stressed out because her youngest brother, who was god of thunder, he had a very bad temper. He always had a bad temper because god of thunder. But somehow that day, he was really acting out. He was destroying his sister's palace and doing all kind of bad things, like torturing animals, and it's amazing stuff that gods are not supposed to do. And sun goddess really stressed out, angry, stressed out, didn't know what to do with her brother's young brother. So she hid herself inside a cave. So what could happen if sun goddess is gone, if sun is hiding? No more light, no more light, darkness. So all of a sudden the world falls into darkness. No more crop is growing. People getting sick. People getting very anxious and don't know what's going on. And gods and goddesses are watching that from the sky, from the heaven, and say, people are suffering on the earth. We gotta get the sun goddess out of the cave in the heaven. And they tried so many different things in vain. And then they had the meeting, and finally they came out with a brilliant plan. They thought this will work. So, following day, all gods and goddesses gathered right outside the cave. Sun goddess was hiding. And then goddess of dance, she stood up and then started to dance joyfully. Somehow that was very comical and happy, joyful. So gods and goddesses loved that dance. They started cheering, they started singing, they started laughing, so happy. Yeah, that's great, happy. And then there was a commotion, which was hard even inside the cave. And the sun goddess who was hiding, so what's going on? I saw the people and the gods and the goddesses, they were freaking out because no more light in this world. But they sounded very happy. What's going on? So she couldn't help to go to the edge of the cave and just wanted to see what's going on. And she tried to peek. And then the strongest god came and it took her hand. And he said, Goddess, you got to come out. And then it successfully took her outside the cave. Dance that was performed outside the cave was the origin of Kagura. So Kagura is the entertainment of God. I like this story because in Shinto world, even goddess get depressed, right? Depressed or sulked or stressed. Yeah, very human. So, but anyway, so that was the origin of the Kagura. And they are still, Japanese people still do that, to entertain God. They feel like they needed to keep God happy to have peace in this world. And also that makes them happy too. So if you go to Japanese Shinto shrine, watch Kagura, you see tiny kids and adults. They all laughing and having good time watching exactly the same show. It's not like this is for kiddie version, this is for adults. Nothing like that. And there are many different Kagura dances, and it really changes depending on the regions. Each village has a different Kagura style. So basically, mask dance theater, some masks are very refined, like no masks. Some masks might look a little scary. Does it look scary? You okay? Yeah. And some masks look more folksy. So different varieties. But they are all showing the very old story, like a hundreds old or 1,000-year-old story about God or interaction between God and spiritual animal, God and people, things like that. And I brought some characters to show you. And now comes the fun part, the kids. So, first of all, this one. This one. You like that? Yeah. Who do you think he is? He is a god of happiness. He's a god of happiness. He has a big belly. And those who have been to, let's say, Japanese restaurant, you might have seen like a big berry. Like some people call that like a happy Buddha, like a big berry. Actually, it's not the Buddha. You know, let's be nice to Buddha. Buddha was not that fat, okay? But this god got the big berry. His name is Hotei. He's one of the 7 lucky gods in Japan. 7 lucky gods. So he is a god of happiness. There is a god of wealth, god of war, gods of longevity. 2 gods of longevity. Yay, I like that. Right? Yay, seniors, yay. And then goddess of art and god of ocean. So they make up 7 lucky gods. It's huge. Japanese people love that. And he carries a big bag and then have a lot of gift for children to show. Okay? And I have some other characters. How about this one? Okay. is. What does it look like? Fox. Good. In Japanese myth, fox is a shapeshifter. It changes its shape. Most famously, fox changes its shape into beautiful lady to trick man, of course. Okay? But in Kagura or in Shinto, fox is actually sacred animal. Fox is a messenger of rice god. So if you go to the Shinto shrine, the owners, god of rice, you will notice statues of foxes around, okay? Because the fox is a messenger of rice god. And sometimes he is elevated as God himself. People pray to the sacred fox, okay? Next one is a little scary, and I have young kids in the audience. You think you're okay? You're not going to cry? All right. Promise, okay? Okay, not scary? Nothing is scary for modern kids, right? Okay, anyway, his name is Tengu. Have you ever seen that? No? No? Okay. Tengu is an amazing mythological creature. And there are two versions, like good Tengu and bad Tengu. So good Tengu is a protector of the mountain. So, and oftentimes elevated as even as a god. So in Shinto myth, group of gods descended to the earth, descended to the land of Japan to govern, because they were looking the land of Japan from heaven and realized that, humans are not doing a good job. There is so much going on there. So the group of gods decided to descend to govern directly the land. So when they landed from the heaven, Tengu led the procession of the gods. So Tengu is the sacred. But there are evil Tengu too. So evil Tengus are pretty scary one for at least Japanese kids. Okay? And the next one is a scary one. You guys okay, right? All right. And this one is okay. It looks like a Shrek, huh? Yeah. So he's Oni, the goblin, Oni. So it could come in a green, red, blue, the different colors. So they live on the mountains too. So sometimes the Tengu, even if Oni is too much, to making too much chaos, Tengu might come to create the peace in there. And usually Onis are pretty bad. Some are kind of naughty level, some are pretty bad. And when Japanese children doing some kind of naughty things, mom comes and say, hey, the Oni will come and get you a belly button. And that's pretty scary for 2-year-old, okay? Maybe not anymore, but when I was a child, it was pretty scary. But anyway, so that's the Oni. And I have one more character whose name is Hyotoko. But to get to know this character, you have to see him in action. Just looking at him as a mask is not enough. So shall I bring him out? All right. So he is coming, Hyotoko. So excuse me, let me put a little piece of clothes here. All right. And then he's coming to you very soon. Hyotoko means fireman. His face looks as though he is blowing fire with puckered lips. Hyotoko is a very popular character in Japanese folklore. He is funny and makes everyone happy. So that's Hyotoko. And then beautiful lady is Hyotoko's wife, whose name is Okame. That means great happiness. So they are fun couple, and they are happy one. And ask any Japanese, everybody knows about them. So it's kind of a cute characters, make everybody happy, okay? So that's something fun about the Shinto Kagura. It's for everybody, it's pretty loose. And again, if you have a chance to go to Japan, don't miss it. And it's rare to see it, outside Japan. So if you go to Japan, you gotta see it, okay? Any question for me? You guys all good? Yeah?
What are the masks made of? What are the masks made of?
Where's the mask made of? Usually wood mask, but sometimes it could be paper mache. This one is a paper mache. I have a wood mask too.
What's
And
that?
this one?
No, the other kind.
Other kind?
The other one?
Wood mask.
What does that mean?
Made of wood.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. It could be made of wood or paper mache. Different varieties depending on the region. And I lived near Tokyo, so I went a lot of Shinto festivals in Japan. And sometimes the performers were really professional. And actually, I studied with them, the professional people. And many of them had the No, which is high art, educated in a No discipline. And the mask was like a No too. It's very expensive masks and amazing. But I have also been to village with a paper mache mask and a little more down to earth, folklore, folksy one. So it's nothing like this is better, this is worse, nothing like that. It's a regional variety in the masks, variety in presentation. Stories are the same, interestingly. Again, stories are taken from the Kojiki, the Japan's oldest chronicle, which came out 1,300 years ago. Yeah, so it's pretty much fascinating. Yeah, nice question. Any other question? You guys okay?
Can you tell us about the thing that you were wearing on your hair?
Oh, here the one I took off? Yeah. So it's a part of the ritual. It's a part of the ornament the miko, the maiden, wears when they do the purification ceremony. Again, this has a regional variety. So it could come in a different style. It could be made of cloth. So it could be made of different material. Okay, yeah. All right. So I think my time is up, but to end this program, I want to invite you to pay respect to nature, amazing nature. It doesn't matter if you are Japanese or non-Japanese, live in Arkansas or from anywhere. We cannot live without the blessings from nature, right? And as I told you, in Japan, everybody goes to Shinto shrine, even those Christians and other things. But with that being said, if you are not interested, you don't have to do it. But for those who want to be part of this ritual, this is how it goes. Let's say if you go to Shinto shrine, you notice the Japanese people are paying homage to nature or praying for nature in particular way. It's a little mysterious to non-Japanese. So here is what they're doing. They bow twice, deep, 90 degrees deep. And then clap twice. When they do it, their right hand is a little lower than left. And then bow one more time. So this means bowing is showing respect, of course. Not only once, just twice, showing a deep respect to the nature. And then clapping hands, or more like bringing hands together, meaning harmony, bringing harmony. And when right hand is down, lower than left hand, that means right hand symbolizes human being. Left hand symbolizes divine, inner nature. So this means that we human are below that nature. We are not conquering or maneuvering or trying to control nature. We come down, we show you respect. So please, nature, please guide us. That's what it means. And then so much respect to the nature. So bow one more time. Okay? So to conclude this program, I want to say thank you to Leah, and thank you to the Fayetteville Library, thank you to everybody, and then do this ritual. So if you want to join, feel free to do that with me, okay? Yeah. So thank you, great nature, for all the protection and the blessings. Bow twice. Hands together, right hand lower than left. And bow one more time. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Yeah. And enjoy the rest of the summer and have a beautiful evening. Thank you.